What's going on, everybody? Jeff back here with another head-to-head beer review. Tonight we've got Spring Seasonal from Dogfish Head. This is their Aprihop. As you can see, it says that it's brewed with real apricots. So this is 7% alcohol by volume, single IPA that Dogfish Head makes for their Spring Seasonal. They continually hop it, just like their other IPAs in traditional Dogfish fashion. And then during the boil, they add real apricots. It doesn't say on their website whether it's like I'm sure they're not whole apricots, but it doesn't say whether it's like a apricot puree or what. So I don't know as far as that is concerned. But so it's released March through April, and yeah, it's a spring seasonal. I had this one last year, but I'm really excited to get to try this year's batch. So let's go ahead and get into it. Normal Dogfish Head cap, like the other seasonal. All right, so there we go. And this beer is crystal clear. Like, you can tell this is intensely filtered. It's got a crazy amount of carbonation, but it does have the laser etching in the bottom. About a half a finger of a kind of tight white bubbles. Good amount of lacing though on this one, and it is like a kind of light red. Verging on brown, kind of rust color maybe. It's darker than a lot of IPAs, but it looks like a pretty good single IPA. Like it's going to have a good malt backbone. So let's go ahead and do this one a smell. Yeah, and actually the first note that I'm getting is malt. Kind of like a bready sweetness going on in this one. You are getting some definitely intense amount of hops. This one's got about 50 IBUs, I think. But they said that it's intensely dry hopped. And then like a real fruity sweetness. I can't distinguish apricots necessarily from other fruits, but you can just tell that there's a good fruity sweetness in there. But it smells like a pretty good beer. I'm really excited to try this one, so let's go ahead and get into it. Cheers. That's really good. I remember having this one last year, and I don't know if I drank it too cold or what the deal was, but I'm definitely getting a lot more fruitiness in this one. And it's not like a real sweet fruitiness. It's more of a tart fruitiness. Like if you've ever had their summer beer, their Festina Pesce, the peaches in that one provide more of a tart finish than a sweetness, and that's definitely present in this beer. Yeah, it's got a good fruitiness. It's not overpowering, but it's just there to complement the rest of the beer. You are getting some bitterness, but it's really not intense. 50 IBUs, not the hoppiest beer, but it's definitely not light on the hops at all. And you're definitely getting some of those good hop flavors there. Slight citrus and pininess there. Just like in the smell, you're getting that biscuity, bready malts to really complement this beer. So far, this has tasted really, really balanced, and it's pretty good. But I'm going to sip on this one for a little bit longer, and I'll keep you guys my final word. Alright guys, I've been sipping on this one for a little bit longer, and I really, really am liking this one. It's got a good balanced flavor. You wouldn't expect that for an IPA. You don't really, when you think of balance, you don't really think IPA. But it's got a good maltiness. It's got a good citrusness. It's not super present, the bitterness and the hop flavor, but it's definitely there. And it has a good fruit flavor to accent both of those. The fruit flavor isn't overpowering like in some fruit beers, like the Blushing Monk review that I did, or in some lambics, blended lambics, but it's there and they complement each other well. The only thing that I would say is that I do wish that it is an IPA, and I do wish that the citrus flavor and maybe a little bit of bitterness, those are maybe a little bit more present, but it's a really good beer. I'm gonna go with an A- on this one because the fact that it's not, I mean, it's advertised as this IPA, and it doesn't have as much of like the citrusness or the pininess as you would think that it would have. That's the only thing I think that's holding it back a little bit. But other than that, it's a great beer, and I really recommend it. Available up and down the East Coast. I don't know where all Dogfish beers are sold, but I know you can't get them like in California and stuff like that. Should be able to get it for about $2.50 a bottle if you buy it in a 4-pack. And that's a pretty good price. I think it's definitely worth it, and I'd pick it up if you can get it. So this has been Aprihop for me. So don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll see you guys in another beer review. Cheers.